Hi everyone, welcome to another session of evidences. So in this session, we'll discuss about like what is questioned sample and what is non-sample. So before that, I will give you just an information. Please note this, so you can help. You can be like it is will be helpful for your one word question. So the earliest recorded analysis of physical evidence took place when Archimedes 287 to 212 BC was consulted by the Greek king who suspected that some of his wealth was made of an alloy rather than pure gold. So this is an information regarding physical evidence. So first earliest record of physical evidence analysis is by Archimedes. So you know the story. I hope you all know. When the Greek king he suspected that the crown made for him was made of an alloy and it was supposed to be pure gold, but he suspected some tampering occurred to that thing, and it was not pure gold, something is mixed with that. So for Archimedes, he was consulted for that one, and he gave the case to Archimedes, and Archimedes found out that by the buoyancy test, like it is not pure gold like that. So that is the earliest recorded analysis of physical evidence. Okay, let's just note this down. Next, we'll move on to the questioned or unknown sample. So the police or crime scene investigator question sample and non-sample. So the police or crime scene investigators may collect physical evidence and submit it to the lab for testing by forensic scientists. And the major role of forensic scientists is to determine if there are links among the evidence, the victim, and the crime scene with the suspect. So the physical and chemical characteristics of the substance or the object that may be identified, but it is most important to see whether the evidence is collected from the relevant crime scene. So one case is there, you will study in that in this subject only, like primary crime scene and secondary crime scene. So there are primary crime scene and secondary crime scene. So here primary crime scene means the place where the crime occurred, and secondary crime scene means crime has occurred, and secondary crime scene means in primary crime scene, at primary crime scene something some like a murder or something happened, and the body of that like dead body for example they removed to another place. That place is called as secondary crime scene. So they transfer the body to some other place, so that place is called as secondary crime scene. So we collect for example from the secondary crime scene we got a dead body, and from this dead body like from his victim's shoes or something we got some soil sample. So we collected this soil sample, and this is called question sample, and this soil sample is called question sample, and from this secondary crime scene only they collected soil sample from nearby surroundings. This is called as non sample. So they compared this question sample with this non-sample, and what happened? They came to know that this soil sample, that is soil sample A, this is soil sample B. So A is and not belongs to this B. A and B are not similar. A is not similar to B. So that means some other place the murder occurred and they transfer the body. So they check the did a back study and found out that some other suspected place, and from here they collected the soil from the primary crime scene. They collected the soil and they match with this A crime scene. So this A is equal to C. That is A is similar to C. So that is the importance of control sample and question sample. So what is a question sample? I hope you understood the idea regarding this. What we why we are using this question sample and non-sample. That is, we need to compare whether the collected evidence is relevant to the crime or not. So what is question sample? So question sample is a material that has been collected from a known location but is of unknown origin. So we don't know the origin of the sample. That is called question sample. Here we got some soil but we don't know from where the soil has come. That is, its origin is in doubt. That is called as question sample. So question sample is a material that has been collected from a known location but is of unknown origin. Next is non-sample. So non-sample is a material that comes from a proven or non source. So here you can see, here from secondary crime scene we collected this soil. So we know that this soil belongs to this particular place. And here we collected C sample. This sample we know this is from the primary crime scene. We collected some this soil from that place. But here we collected from the dead body's shoes we collected this soil, so we don't know the origin of that particular soil. So that is question sample, and these two B and C is non-sample. So every time this question sample, we can call this question sample as Q, is compared with non-sample. This is compared with non-sample, we can call this as K. So this non-sample is also called as control sample. So a control sample generally refers to a material that is expected to respond. This non-sample is also called as reference sample. And next is control sample. So control sample, for example, we'll take a case of blood. So we we want to prove whether it is AB positive blood. We got a question sample and we got a non-sample. Question sample is from the victim and non-sample is from his parents. Okay, so first thing we want to know whether what is like how it is behaving. We want to group this. We want to do a grouping of this blood test. So the parents are telling the victim's blood group is AB positive. Parents are telling victim's blood group is AB positive. So what we will do, we will take a non-AB positive blood. They will take a non-AB positive blood. So this AB positive blood, we know how it will react. Okay, this is AB positive blood, we know that one. And we take a plate, and in the first plate what we'll do, we'll add this AB positive non-sample, and in the second plate we add this question sample Q. So here we know how it will react. In A and B, it will give agglutination, that we will know. Here we don't know how it will react, but the parents are telling it will give AB positive. So if it is AB positive, it should give here and here agglutination, A, B and O. Here and here agglutination it should show. So that is control sample. We know that this will react in this particular way. Why we are doing this? It means we want to check whether the chemical is working, or is the like whether we are getting the correct result. If it is, if this AB positive is giving correct result, then here also it should give correct result, AB positive. If the victim's blood is AB positive, it should give the correct result, otherwise it will not give. So the chemical is or the reagent is working well. For that checking that one, we are taking control sample. So what is a control sample? Control sample generally refers to a material that is expected to respond in a particular way in testing. So we are expecting this will work in this own way. So that is called as control sample. It is used to validate. Why it is using? To validate the method of testing by comparing test result of question sample and non-sample. So here we are validating the question sample whether it is AB positive, it is giving good result or not, by checking an non-AB positive with using a by using a non-AB positive blood. So that is called as control sample. So control sample generally refers to a material that is expected to respond in a particular way in testing, and it is used to validate the method of testing by comparing test result to those of the question and non-samples. So this is an example and this is control sample. And what is non-sample? Non-sample is a material that comes for from a proven or known source. It is also called as reference sample and standard sample. Standard sample. And what is questioned sample? Question sample is a material that has been collected from a known location but it's of unknown origin. So when we are collecting an evidence, what is the importance of learning these terms? When we are collecting an evidence, when we are searching a crime scene, we have to collect question sample and non-sample from the particular crime scene. The forensic scientist may be taken part of a team using the physical evidence to reconstruct a crime scene, and the team may include the crime scene investigators, detectives or other law enforcement officials, medical officers, etc. So in any case, like for example in a murder investigation, the physical evidence, we are mainly focusing on this physical evidence to solve the case. So it is very important for the reconstruction purpose to collect this known sample along with the question sample. So that is about known sample, question sample and control sample. So next is, what is the significance of physical evidence? Significance of physical evidence. So the best evidence, here we'll discuss about, in this session we'll discuss about individual and class characteristics, class evidence. So what is the difference between individual and class evidence? So the best evidence is anything that can be linked to a unique, single and specific source. So if you are collecting an evidence, it should link to a unique, single and specific source. For example, it should link to a specific person, that is the culprit. So this is called as individual evidence. So this individual evidence, if we are collecting the individual evidence, we can link this to a unique, single and specific source. That type of evidences are called as individual evidences. So some examples are fingerprints, then DNA, handwriting. So in these cases, like these evidences, we can use to link to a unique, single and specific source. But the thing is that most of the evidences we get from the crime scene are class evidences. So class evidences means that the object has characteristics common to a group of similar objects, but not to a single object. So for example, a blue jeans. So many people will have this blue jeans. Then tire impressions. So same type of tire impressions, tire will be having for so many vehicles. So that is another example. And these are called as class evidences. So this is the difference between individual evidence and class evidence. So individual evidences we can link to unique, single and specific source, and these can be examples are like fingerprints, DNA, handwriting, etc. And class evidences are like objects have characteristics common to a group of similar objects. For example, we can say like shirt, jeans and all. So this is the difference between individual evidence and class evidence. So if you want, once again I am telling the definition of individual evidence. So individual evidences are the materials that can be related to a single source. Individualization always involves a comparison. Then class evidence, materials that can be associated only with a group of items that share properties or characteristics. So that is the difference between individual evidence and class evidence. So I hope you understood this session. What is question sample, then what is non-sample, what is controlled sample. You should not make a mistake between these three samples, and what is the importance of collecting this controlled sample, non-sample and question sample from a crime scene, and also the significance of physical evidence in relation with individual and class evidences. So if you have any doubts, you can clear. I hope you understood, and we'll wind up here. Thank you.